Boy looking kind of rough today, ain't he? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Nerd Corner. I'm Sakura, the kid that never knows the best. And today's been back with another sustaining industry video, despite my hair looking kind of, today, and the fact that my last sustaining industry video wasn't even that long ago. Typically how I started doing these was like once a month, and then when my collection grew, it started becoming farther and fewer between, and that's pretty much still how it's going to continue to be. But I did recently get some new pickups, and they're probably going to be the only ones that I get for quite some time from now, because these are things that I felt like I absolutely needed to have. Some of them were on sale, which is the reason why I snagged them, and some of them are continuations of certain series that I've already started collecting. So it was like, yeah, these were guaranteed pickups at some point. Some of them are long overdue, some of them are just, par for the course. But with all that being said, we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to get straight into these pickups. Kicking it off, we have the Blu-ray for 5 centimeters per second, one of my favorite films from Makoto Shinkai, who I personally believe is the greatest anime director alive. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Don't at me, because I ain't trying to throw no hands, because you gon' lose, because you can't fight me on this. Shinkai the God, alright? Alright. I think Makoto Shinkai is the best. His films, his movies to me are the greatest works in anime when it comes to movies and film. I think just the overall aesthetic, the mood, the tone, the music, it surpasses by far everything else that I've experienced. And if you guys have some stuff out there that you might recommend to me that you think I'd enjoy because it's similar, or you just think it's better, feel free to throw it at me. But I can tell you right now, ain't no Ghibli film surpassing Makoto Shinkai for me. It just is what it is. But yeah, 5 centimeters per second is one of the first Shinkai films that I actually saw several years ago at this point now, and I've always wanted to own it. But the thing was, like, for a very long time we didn't have like a North American release for this. And I remember looking on eBay constantly, and I came close to buying the Japanese import so many times. It came in like this really dope, like, pink Blu-ray case, and not only did I want the film just because I genuinely loved it so much and it's one of my favorites, but like the pink Blu-ray case was just so sick to me. And then obviously you got like the Japanese text and stuff on it, and I'm a weeb, so it appealed to me. And I didn't pull the trigger on it because it's fairly expensive, right? In order to get that, you'd have to pay anywhere from like $60 to $80. It's pretty rare, rare-ish more so. And it's expensive, so I never pulled the trigger on it, but I came close many times. But when this finally released in North America, I knew that I would grab it sooner or later, and now was as good as time as any since I was placing an order. And it just so happened to go on sale the day that I placed an order on Right Stuff because of like some spring cherry blossom sale type thing they were doing. I don't know, but the point is, I got it now. I'm more than happy to add it to my collection. This, alongside the Garden of Words, my 2 favorite pieces from Makoto Shinkai. Well, I don't know if I can say that now, because Your Name is a thing, and Your Name's pretty up there, which, by the way, I need a Blu-ray for that as well, and I will get that eventually. I know I've been lacking on that, but like I said, Blu-rays haven't really been a focus of mine for the most part. I'm more so interested in the manga side of things when it comes to, anime and manga collecting. But anyway, yeah. 5 centimeters per second, one of my favorite movies. Glad to have it in the collection. Your Name I will be getting eventually at some point to add it to my Shinkai collection. And yeah, man, so that's the first pickup. Up next, we have Boruto Naruto Next Generations Volume 3, and again, it wasn't that long ago that I did my last sustaining industry video, and all of my thoughts are still the same. I mean, this is pretty much more of the same. We're still recapping the movie, although we do get into some new content in this volume, but the majority of this volume is still, a remake, a reboot, or a recap, or whatever you want to call it, of the Boruto film. And then towards like the last chapter or two, we start getting introduced to fresh content that, hasn't been animated and hasn't been previously shown in the manga. As far as, the artwork and the story and the characters, like, all my opinions are still the same. I still feel like this is a great story and it's really cool characters that I really like, and the world is just as cool as ever because I always love Naruto. But the biggest flaw, the biggest drawback of this series is Mikio Ikemoto's very lackluster, subpar, in my opinion anyway, artwork. And I do hope that he will continue to grow as an artist and improve, because I want the series to succeed. I want to see it do well, and I want to see it look good. And just right now, that's just not really the case. I'm still enjoying the story for content, or from a content perspective, but from an art perspective, as somebody who appreciates the art and manga so much, this just ain't really doing it for me. I mean, even this cover is just, what I'm saying? All their faces look really weird. What's going on with Sarada's legs? Like, I don't know, man, but hey. I guess I'm the idiot for just continuing to spend my money on it, right? But it is what it is. Like I said, Boruto I still think is a great series. I think that both the anime and the manga are not as appreciated as they should be, especially from Naruto fans who just, write it off as a cash grab and don't really give it a fair chance. But that's just me, that's just my opinion. I'm still enjoying it, and hopefully I'll enjoy it more in the future if Ikemoto can, step up his game in terms of his illustrations. Next, we have Volume 5 of Platinum Men with an amazing cover, but then again, all of the covers of Platinum Men are pretty dope. Although there's one thing that I will say that I guess I haven't mentioned in a minute is that the fact that the spines alternate, like the whole color of the covers, like the volumes entirely, like the colors change within each volume. I would be fine with that, but something that still irks me is that the first 2 volumes of Platinum Men, they're both white. Like they both have this mostly all white, silvery, and red color scheme to them, which is really, really sick. And if all the volumes had been like that, I'd have been perfectly okay with that, with the prisms and all that. But then with Volume 3, they changed it, and then Volume 4 is a different color, and Volume 5 is a different color, and now it's looking like every single volume is going to be a different color. And I wouldn't mind if they were all different colors, but now 1 and 2 match, and the rest of them don't, and I don't know, it's driving me crazy. But Platinum is still a dope series nonetheless. Like I said, I know it's a very polarizing series. A lot of people have some very strong opinions on it, whether it be positive or negative. I'm in the positive camp, although I know a lot of my fellow manga fans and people that I've met through Twitter and YouTube are in the negative camp. But I feel like this is Takeshi Obata's strongest artwork yet, and as far as Tsugumi Oba's writing, I think it's pretty good so far. I know a lot of people say it's it's way too edgy, it's pretentious, it's convoluted, it's not all that unique or original, and teach their own. Some of those criticisms are valid, but I think it's a more than enjoyable story, and I'm into that edgy, pretentious bullshit. So this was always going to appeal to me anyway, because I like stuff like Deadman Wonderland, Akame got killed, and all that other bullshit that's just just full of blood and swearing and just you know what I'm saying. But yeah, one thing that I will say again is that I always find it interesting that this is considered a shonen manga, despite the very mature nature of it, both in terms of its content and themes, as well as the explicit nature of the illustrations, because they're not shy of sexuality in this by any means, and that goes for both heterosexual and homosexual, because we've seen a little bit of both in here. But yeah, man, Platinum Men, dope story. I'm still very enjoying it, or still really enjoying it rather. That's not very good English. And yeah, hopefully others will continue to read it and enjoy it as well, because I feel like Takeshi Obata and Tsugumi Oba are not going to disappoint with this series. Even though some people would say that they already have, I think that if you stick it out, you'll be in for a treat. That's just how I feel. And last but not least, the final 2 volumes that I picked up, we have volumes 10 and 11 of Your Lie in April, a series that I have been meaning to complete for so long now, because I started collecting this I don't know, like 2 years ago, maybe even almost 3. I don't remember if it was 2015 or 2016 when I bought the first couple volumes of Your Lie in April, but I don't know what took me so long to complete the series. The anime is one of my personal favorites. It's in my top 10. It's actually the anime that inspired me and motivated me to actually teach myself how to play piano, because playing a musical instrument is something that I've always wanted to do, something that I've always wanted to learn. And the 2 instruments that I've always been the most drawn to are the piano and the guitar. And I don't know, man. Like, I always wanted to learn how to play piano, and something about watching Your Lie in April, years ago when it came out back in 2013, 2014, I don't exactly remember. Just seeing the journey of Kosei and Kaori, it was inspiring. It was really inspiring. Then after I finished watching that anime, I went out like the very next day. I bought myself this like $130 keyboard or whatever, and I started teaching myself how to play piano. Now, granted, that is not a study that I've kept up with. I started slacking on it very heavily. Like, I went really hard at it, and I was very motivated for like 6 or 7 months. I was teaching myself. I was learning at a decent pace, I would say, especially for someone who was just, playing by ear and watching stuff off YouTube. But it was something that I lost my drive for. I guess it was kind of hard for me to stay. It was hard for me to stay motivated, and without having a teacher or somebody there that was pushing me and telling me, keep going, keep doing this, or just someone to watch over me, I kind of just like fell off. And I still dabble in it, but I'm not as good as I should be for someone who claims to want to be able to play this instrument. But the fact remains that Your Lie in April is a phenomenal series, and I've always wanted to finish reading the manga, or even read the manga, because I had been collecting the volumes, but I never bought them because I wanted to read it all at once. And I could finally do that, and I started doing that because now that I have these in my collection, I started reading the series, and it's funny, because I don't know how many of you guys listen to The Weeknd. He's a singer. He recently released an EP, 6 tracks, that may or may not be about his relationship with Selena Gomez, but I absolutely love that EP. I think it is incredible. I think all 6 of those songs are phenomenal, but I will say they really hit your boy in the feels. They're quite emotional, quite sad, quite depressing. The type of music that might want to make you veer your car off the highway into a guardrail or off a cliff or something, you know what I'm saying? Or make you want to call up your ex one night after you get drunk. Not that I've got experience with that or anything, but, I don't know what possessed me and made me think that starting to read Your Lie in April at 6 in the morning while blasting that EP at full volume on repeat was a good idea, but it may have been one of the best and worst decisions that I've ever made in my life, because that experience was unlike any other that I've ever had in terms of reading a manga. It was legendary. I mean, I don't even really know how to put it into words how I felt while reading that. I mean, emotional, sad, depressed, happy. Like, I don't even know exactly what the emotions were that I was feeling. I just know that I was very emotionally moved, and I was damn near about ready to cry at several points. I've only read Like the first 5 volumes so far, like I said, I was reading like really early in the morning. I don't know why I was up at that time, and I don't ask me. I lost all control of my life. I do copious amounts of meth, but you know, those 5 volumes, man. I know that it came as no surprise because I enjoy the anime so much. Like I said, Your Lie in April is in my top 10 favorite anime of all time. And it's the anime that pushed me to want to learn how to play piano. So it came as no surprise that I was enjoying it as much as I did, but just the experience, man, it was crazy. Like I said, it was unlike any other I've ever had while reading manga. And I think, you know, in order to finish the series, I'm gonna do it again. And I might not make it to the end of the manga to tell you guys what I think about it because, you know, but I'm gonna do it. So yeah, volumes 10 and 11 of Your Lie in April, I finally have them in collection. And I just realized, yo, it's April. Oh, this is just too perfect. Hold up. It's alright. I didn't even realize it was April. That just dawned on me as I'm sitting here recording this. It is actually April right now. I might not make it to May. I just might not. I don't know. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. These are all the pickups that I have had to have. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Those have been all of my pickups. Recently, we have the anime Blu-ray for 5 centimeters per second, which I'm looking forward to watching again because it's been quite some time since I've actually sat down and watched this. And then we have Volume 5 of Platinum Man, Volume 3 of Boruto, and then the final 2 volumes, 10 and 11 of Your Lie in April, which have been long overdue to add to my collection. And these were the necessities I was talking about. Like, these are by far the 2 things I was most excited to pick up. And then 5 centimeters per second was the other one that I felt like was a necessary addition to my collection. You know, and again, these were the 2 ongoing series that I'm just going to continue collecting because I am enjoying them. But yeah, man, especially excited to add these 3 to the collection. Can't wait to watch this again. Can't wait to read these 2. Don't know if I'm going to be here again next month to tell you guys my thoughts on it and talk about it, but it is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already so you can stay tuned for all the awesome content on I bring you. And with all that being said, that's pretty much all I have today. And remember, nothing can happen since when you're back. Later.